There's a fish somewhere right now swimming in slow circles near the corner of its tank. Not eating, not exploring, just waiting. It sounds strange to say a fish is waiting for something, but what if it is? For decades, science treated fish like background scenery, pretty silent, incapable of feeling much of anything. No real memory, no real emotion, just instinct on repeat. That belief has been falling apart for years. And here's the part that might genuinely surprise you. The way your fish behaves when it's alone could be telling you something you've never noticed before. Nobody thinks of fish as needing company. Dogs need company. Parrots need company. Even rabbits get lonely. Fish, they just swim. No tail wag. No whining at the door. No jumping into your lap after a hard day. But that silence is exactly why we misread them. Underwater life often runs on relationships. Many species build their entire existence around each other, hunting together, protecting each other, even recognizing specific individuals after months apart. For these animals, being part of a group isn't just comfort, it's survival. So what happens when a fish built for that world suddenly has no one left? Not every species answers the same way. Male bettas, for example, are naturally territorial and usually prefer having their own space. In the wild, they avoid each other because sharing territory often leads to serious fights. Keeping one alone isn't neglect, it's giving it the life it evolved for. But neon tetras, corridoras, rasboras, danios, these fish are built the opposite way. For them, a group isn't optional, it's identity. A school in the wild isn't just fish swimming near each other, it's a living shield. Hundreds of bodies moving as one confuses predators, keeps individuals safer, and makes finding food easier. Take that away, and slowly their behavior begins to change. Here's the twist: fish loneliness doesn't look like our loneliness. A lonely dog whines. A lonely person withdraws. A lonely fish just starts fading into itself. It hides more than usual, stops exploring. Its colors dull slightly. Sometimes it stops eating altogether. None of this proves loneliness on its own. Poor water quality or illness can cause similar signs. But when a naturally social fish is suddenly isolated, these changes show up again and again. Studies on social fish show isolation raises stress hormones, lowers activity, and can even affect normal brain function. Being alone doesn't just change how a fish acts. It can change what's happening inside its body. Here's a fact that surprises most people. Some fish can recognize individual humans by their faces. Archerfish in particular have shown surprisingly accurate face recognition in controlled studies. A skill scientists once assumed only existed in animals with far more complex brains. And that's because a fish's brain never really stops tracking its social world, who belongs, who's dominant, who follows whom, which way the group is about to turn. Some species go even further. Cleaner wrasse remember individual clients they've worked with before. Certain cichlids recognize their own family members. Some reef fish maintain partnerships that last for years. These aren't random encounters, they're relationships. Now here's something that'll change how you look at your own tank. The old myth that fish forget everything in 3 seconds. Completely false. Long debunked. Fish remember locations, routines, problems they solved months earlier. They learn exactly when feeding time happens. They recognize the person who feeds them regularly. And that rush to the glass when you walk into the room, it's not always just about food. One aquarium owner noticed something odd after returning from a 2-week trip. His fish spent nearly an hour following him back and forth along the glass, almost as if it had missed the routine of him being there. Was it excitement? Habit? Recognition? Nobody can say for certain. But moments like these are exactly why researchers keep asking new questions about fish intelligence. Your presence becomes one of the most important parts of its environment. To you, an aquarium is furniture. To a fish, it's the entire world it knows. Every rock is familiar. Every routine is memorized. Every visitor is noticed. When you walk in, you're often the one unpredictable event in an otherwise identical loop. Some fish become visibly more active around familiar faces. Others simply go still and alert. Either way, that's a brain actively processing what's happening around it. This is why enrichment matters so much. Plants, rocks, hiding spots, occasional layout, changes the right tank, mates all of it, gives a fish something to actually engage with instead of drifting through an empty box of water. But companionship isn't a universal fix. Put the wrong fish together, and you create more stress, not less. A schooling fish kept alone may suffer from isolation. A territorial fish forced to share space may live in constant low-grade conflict. Good fish keeping was never about numbers. It's about building the exact environment each species evolved for. For some, that's a tight-knit group. For others, it's solitude. Understanding the difference is where real care begins. Scientists still debate one question. Do fish feel loneliness the way we do? Nobody can prove it with total certainty. We can't ask a fish how it feels, but we can observe behavior, measure stress hormones, study the brain, and the evidence keeps pointing in one direction. Social animals change when meaningful social contact disappears. Call it loneliness, call it social deprivation, call it isolation stress. The pattern appears again and again. The animal comes out different. Here's one more fact worth sitting with. Some fish, including cleaner wrasse, have past versions of the mirror self-recognition test, a benchmark once believed to be reserved for animals like chimpanzees, elephants, and dolphins. Maybe this was never really about fish at all. Maybe it's about how easily we dismiss anything that doesn't look or act like us. Fish were called emotionless for generations. Then researchers found out they learn, they remember, they cooperate. Some use tools, some deceive rivals, some protect their young with everything they have. Intelligence doesn't always look familiar. An emotion doesn't always wear a face we recognize. Sometimes it's a small silver fish that refuses to leave the corner of the tank after losing its companions. Sometimes it's an entire school moving in perfect unison, each one quietly, depending on the others. So do fish feel lonely? For some species, the honest answer is yes. Or close enough that the difference barely matters. Not because they're secretly tiny humans underwater, but because evolution built them to need each other. Take that away and their behavior shifts. Their stress rises. Their world grows smaller. Next time you stand in front of a tank, don't just watch color drifting through water. Look closer. Notice who swims together. Notice who's exploring. Notice who's watching you back. You might be looking at an animal with memory, preference, and a social life richer than anyone imagined just a few decades ago. And maybe that's the real surprise. The more we learn about fish, the less different they turn out to be.